Good morning, this is Julie Silver Stitches here on YouTube. Welcome. It is Sunday, October 26th, 2025. Welcome for a FlossTube update. I have worked on nine different things in the last 2 days since I've last filmed on Friday. I have currently put in 738 stitches. I have a board here. I've got a tablet. So I have a board over here. I have a tablet over there. So we're going to be looking back and forth because I can't figure out how to set up otherwise with all of the information that I need to share. So I have 4 new games. Not new. I have 4 readjusted games that I'm doing that it's always going to be a surprise on. Some of it is going to be, 2 out of the 4 games are going to be a surprise on how many I stitch. So I'm playing the temperature game, but this is going to be not the, so I'm going to base the stitch, what I work on for the project, but the amount of stitches is going to change because it all depends on what the current temp is, what the low temp is, what the high temp is, and what it feels like. So I'm adding all of those numbers together because 100 is too many to spend on one project for however many times we do this. So I have a goal of 200 stitches, and then I'm going to switch out the projects. So I have 10 different projects, varying amounts of stitches per day. So I have 2 already in that category done. Well, last 2 days. The next game that I'm going to be playing is the train game. I'm going back to the train game. The goal for these are 500 stitches, and then I'm going to switch it out. So I have 8 different projects for that, and those are going to be, the stitch count is going to be set by the card. If you don't know, then go back to a few more videos before, and I'm sure I explain all of these things. I'm playing all in the cards. It's kind of like Whip Wars, but it's not. So, all in the cards is, I took a set of cards. I took a deck of cards. I brought out the 14 different cards. So ace through king and then a joker, or 2 through ace and then a joker is how I'm working it. Ace is the highest card, 2 is the lowest card, joker is worth 150. Each card gets 10 stitches allocated to it. So if it's 20, I mean, if it's a 2, then it's 20, but if it's the ace, then it's 140 because that's the 13th card in the deck. Do you know? Anyways, is what it is. Okay, so and then the next game that I'm currently doing is called It's a Date. So I took the day of the week, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I gave all of those a different number. Monday is 1, Tuesday is 2, so on and so forth. The day of the month. So we're in the 10th month. So it's the month plus the day of the week plus the actual date that it is. So because yesterday was October 25th, 2025, not that the 2025 has anything to do with it, but it might in the future because these are pretty low numbers. So so I took the Saturday, the month, which is 10, so 6, I think, is Saturday. Yeah, 6 plus 10 plus 25. So that's how many stitches I did on that project. Okay, now that that's all. So the temp and the It's a Date are going to be completely random on how many stitches. The train and all in the cards is predetermined. Does that all make sense? And I also have a focus whip that I'm going to try and stitch on every day for at least, I think it's at least 150 stitches, at least. So we're going to start with that, and I'm going to get you the picture. It is See You Later by Happiness on Etsy. See You Later, Alligator, After a While, Crocodile. It's a play on that. Goes through a whole lot of different other ones. What I was working on this week, though, was See You Soon, Raccoon. I started this last week. Showed it a little bit in the update video on Friday, but since then, so See You Soon, Raccoon was already done. Since then, I've put in 305 stitches into my little, with ripping out and how is that 305 stitches? Who knows, but that's what it is. So it's now at 851 stitches out of 9,329. It is at 9.12%. So all of the grays are all done in the raccoon. And then now I just need to fill in all the other colors. Grays and whites and greens, I think. It's a muted green, so it's not going to be like bam, it's going to be blendy, I think, is how that's going to work. And he is living, well, it, I guess, because there's lots of different animals, are living in this little bag. It's a 20 count piece of white Aida. It's really big right now, so I can cut it down and be able to stitch something else on it, but I want to find out the edges where everything is going to be located for the sides so that I can cut it down appropriately without being like, oh my goodness, you know, I know you know. All right, let's go by day. So where's this? Where is this? This tells me what I actually worked on per day. So I started using my calendar again. I have a whiteboard and I have the tablet. You'd think I'd be able to do this all in one go with just one piece of device, but that's okay. Okay, so let's start out with Buttercup, because it's in the first thing. So Buttercup is Buttercup is a temperature stitch, so it got 25 stitches, which was good, so because it got me to ease into everything. So Buttercup is from Nora Corbett. She is a Pixie Blossom collection, sorry, from 2013. It's good to get the slow starts on some of these so that I'm not stitching forever, but I kind of figure out where I am again kind of situation, because some of these, who knows? Alright, so I ended up working this way. Alright, so I ended up stitching in 25 of these lighter 3078 stitches, the light yellow. And I can't tell you any numbers because it's a paper pattern. I'm not one to try and take the picture of the thing and import it to Pattern Keeper. I don't know. Who knows? Not me. That's not me. Alright, so next of that day, I was able to stitch on Beginner Seashell. Mini Beginner Seashell is by Kayomi Hirai, and it is a Heaven and Earth design. I'm pretty sure it's still there. I put in 40 stitches because that's what the train told me I had to do, so that's what I did. And I'm now starting to fill in this is the whole thing. It is currently, so I put in 40 stitches. It is currently at 13,953, and it's 55.15%. So I ended up working down here, where the sand is starting to come in. Put all my stitches in this kind of section down here. I'm still working on the diagonal, so that's how that's going. I was excited to get this one back out because it's been so long. So on Friday, after I filmed that video, it took me almost all day on Friday to figure out the next things to do, the next projects. Nothing seemed to work right. So I was spinning the wheel to choose the project, but the projects in my mind weren't lining up right. Like, they weren't jiving with the theme. Not the theme matters, but it was a all right. So then, all in the cards for Friday was Savannah's Curtsy, and Savannah's Curtsy took 2 days to complete. When I was looking at and I wrote it down on both days because I worked on it on both days. So when I was looking at this, trying to figure out what bag to put what in, because now I'm just going to sort by day instead of, anyways, it's a whole thing. But I wrote Savannah's Curtsy down twice because I did working on it for both days because it required 130 stitches, and this is my eyes by like stitch 94 or something. It was like I couldn't focus even with my glasses. My light that I was using, the ring light, light, I don't know what it's called anyway. I got it off of Amazon. Anyway, it decided to die, so I'm in search of a new bright white light. Past that, everything's great. So I've been using my neck light and my glasses that are not as strong as the magnifier light, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I wasn't going to insert a picture, but I am going to insert one picture. So I was stitching all here. So I'll show you the whole thing first. So Savannah's Curtsy is by Mirabilia. Let's go for that first. It is this one. She is massive. This is my second time starting her. Same fabric, but different approach, because the first time I did it, she was not cooperating by the time I actually learned how to stitch on 2/2. So when I was stitching, I was finding a lot of 2/3s, 2/1s, you know, like my linen counts weren't great, and I'm pretty sure this is an even weave, not a linen. Anyway, but here we go. This is where we're at right now. Again, no stitch counts except for what I've already done. So I've put in 130 in. So I've essentially filled in most of this block down here. Up here, I had to fill in, and so I worked down here, and then I worked in this part of the bow, because I'll show you a picture right now, and my mind wasn't in the right place to continue looking on that while I worked on everything else. Here's the picture. Couldn't do it, so I had to fill in more of the bow in order not to see what I was seeing. Thank goodness it worked, because honestly. Okay, anyway. And if you don't know, that's absolutely fine. But it happens to all of us, I think. I was just watching Jessie Marie the other day, and she was showing off, I don't know if it was it was a previous finish and a fully finished object, but I don't know how long ago, and she pulled it out and she said, well, I will always see in this picture from now on because I can't unsee it. But anyway, okay, so we're working our way through this bag. The last thing in this bag, so the last thing MSB, is for It's a Date. Simple Gifts Christmas. So glad to get this out again. These It's a Date I don't know. It's going to be 500 stitches, and then I'm going to switch it out, but we'll see how that goes. I don't know. I already switched the temperature stitching to 200, so I might do that with these ones as well, because if I'm only getting, you know, however much the date is, it's going to take forever to get to 500 before I switch it out, which is fine, but, you know, Julie is not okay with, seeming to be not okay with same projects, so, all the time. So this is on a 32 count piece of fog, sorry, by Picture This Plus. I was thinking log, and I was like, log? That's not right. So, Fog by Picture This Plus. It is with all of the called for fancy flosses. This is where we're at. I was able to put in 39 stitches since you've last seen this, which is quite a lot actually, because I was able to, so I think, yeah, so I finished this little, so last time you saw it, I had the whole first outline done of the zigzag part. I figured out the counting, and then I'm going to fold it up more so that I can actually focus on it. Okay, so now, I've filled in this little triangle of stitches there, and I've brought down the second border. So yeah, so I think it's looking really good. This is a very long time work in progress. So I am ready to see this finished. Although this is the only start of so this is page 2, I don't know, 5 and 8, I guess, is completed, and I'm working on page 1, is what it is. So I still have a whole nother column to go on this side, but I'm really enjoying it. We'll see what happens when I no longer am able to use my magnifying light, because that's what was saving me, so it might be a little bit tricky, but at least I have glasses, right? And I can always get different levels of strength in the glasses. Thank you, dollar store. All right. So that was it for the rest of the stitching on Friday. Saturday, was a little bit more broken up because I went shopping, and I went to my mom's birthday party at my aunt's house, so that all happened yesterday, and so it wasn't a full day of stitching either, because why would that be? And today's not going to be a full day of stitching either, because I have, so far the plan is to go, one of the people that we were cutting lawns for and doing yard work for in the summer invited us over for a old comedy show and you know, late lunch, early dinner kind of situation. So we'll see how that goes. James is not out of bed, and it's 11:05, and I don't know if he's taken his pills yet, so we're supposed to leave by 12. So I'm on track to finish this by the time and get ready and go by the time we need to leave, but I don't know if he will. We'll see how that goes. If not, we just call them and reschedule. They're absolutely fine with it. But okay, so yesterday I also worked on Savannah's curtsy because it was not completed on Friday. The next thing in this list is Cozy Winter Mugs. This is by KEB Studio Creations. Sorry, trying to balance so I can get to the next bag. Oh, jeez, everything's falling. Okay. Alright, so, and the fun thing about this is I won't be able to actually tell you my plans because I spin a wheel. No, I don't spin a wheel. I use a game called, or an app called Roll on my phone. It's a random number generator. It is dice. It somehow is the lottery. I don't know. Lotto numbers. I don't know what lotto numbers it's referring to, but yeah, so I found it and I was like, perfect, because at that time I was playing dice games and I was doing all the things and I needed something on my phone because who knows, anyways. But that is how I figure out what I'm working on every day, except for temperature, because I just choose the current temperature when I'm stitching on the temperature that day. Alright, Cozy Winter Mugs is, yes, comes out of this magazine that I have completely ripped off the first and last page of because, you know, I'm using it. Alright. I only was able to have to put in, oh, we're going back to the beginning again. Hold on. 18 stitches. So 18 stitches into this, but it was enough to get my head wrapped around it again because, again, I haven't pulled this out in a very long time. I'm using Roxy Floss Co. flosses. And this is I want to say a 14 or 16 count piece of, I feel like it's raw Ada, but I don't really know. Anyway, oatmeal maybe? Goes this way, goes this way. We have a lot of excess fabric on this because I didn't really know how big it was going to be because I didn't really measure it out, but my 18 stitches ended up, you see the darker space in there? That's where they all went. But this is the whole thing. So this mug, the darker blue, is 1/1. The snowflakes are 2/1, and the steam is 3/1. I started this mug. This mug is 2/1. It was supposed to be 1/1, you know, to help save the colors, but nope, that didn't happen. So what I might do is make the zigzags in here 1/1, and then again the steam 3/1 because you can barely see the steam because I made it a variation of a white and like the what did we do? We made it a variation of mixing together Storm Cloud and Cotton Candy. So Storm Cloud was too white on its own up against this fabric to be able to be seen, but because the Storm Cloud is in the snowflakes up against the darker colors, then it would make sense, but it's standing alone, you couldn't see it. So I added the Cotton Candy to be able to make it pop a little bit, because who doesn't want to drink something with blue steam? 'Tis the season of witchiness. Alright. Now, Dragon in the Morning. Dragon in the Morning is my... Come on, train. Yeah, Dragon in the Morning is my train stitching. It is this one. And this is by Randall Spangler. It called for 70 stitches. So, my 70 stitches... just got put into... So here's the whole thing. And then my 70 stitches just kept getting stitched into stitching in the parked threads in here somewhere. So over here, over there. Anyway, this is now 15,468 out of 105,950, and it's at 14.60%. So 1 minute or the other, I will be able to get to the next row. We're patiently waiting for that because this row was a column of 3 squares instead of the 2 squares. Oh, hi Skitters. Oh, geez, you're gonna jump down? Perfect, thank you. You can say hi. Oh, and he has wet paws because this cat... Come here. He says, no, I don't think so. I will just lie here. Okay. This cat likes to play in the water. I have refilled the water bowl 3 days in a row now because the other cats want water too, but this cat gets to the water bowl first and decides that he wants to, I don't even know, play in a pond. So he's splash, 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 splash. Currently, we are not in the position to get a water fountain yet, but that is the next step, because no matter what is in, like, I filled it up this morning, it's already half empty. Did he drink all of it? No. He just... Anyways, okay, so, dragon in the morning. Did I tell you everything? Alright, and the last thing that I worked on... Not the last thing. The next thing that I worked on was Sing a Sampler for all of the cards. Sing a Sampler needed 70 stitches. So that is by... I don't want to connect to the network. That is by Silver Creek Samplers. And I have the first two here. I have the other two upstairs, put away so that, you know, cats. Anyway, so this is where we're at. So I've done Doe and Ray. I'm working on me right now. Yesterday, I just decided that the day was the day to add my name. Because in the past, I was hemming and homming and doing all the things about who to give it to. I'm giving it to me. Because, honestly. Okay, so here we go. So my 70 stitches... 70? Yeah, 70 stitches I was able to put in my name, and I brought this gold stripe up a little bit. So I put in my name, I centered it, and then gold stripe. These two colors are supposed to be changed. Neither of them are the called for, of course, because I didn't do any called for in this. But the grass was supposed to be lighter, and the name was supposed to be darker. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's going to know by the time I finish the whole thing, because unless you're comparing the chart with, like the picture of the chart with my finished product, then it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The only reason why I changed the raccoon was because in my mind he would have looked really funny. And I have not had to work on that other piece yet that I'm going to have to rip out first before I start. The North Wind. Alright, last piece that I worked on, I actually worked on it this morning. Look at that sun. Okay, last piece I worked on, which was really this morning, but I decided to find out all the numbers for it yesterday, when it was yesterday, for yesterday's stitching, was Moon Dreams. Moon Dreams is by, this is for... yeah, it's a date. No. Yeah, Moon Witch, not Moon Dreams. Moon Witch. Okay, Moon Witch is a chart by Artisy. That's not in that. Okay, fine. Oh. I was going through all my pictures, and then it's not in my pictures. It's still in the view mock-up. It is in Pattern Keeper. So, this needed 41 stitches for the It's a Date yesterday, because I was doing It's a Date yesterday, so It's a Date ended up being 41 stitches. Okay, so I put in the 41 stitches this morning because I will do a new It's a Date today if I get a chance, because that's how it's going to work. But because this wasn't yesterday's, this wasn't today's date, this was yesterday's date. So, but it is what it is. Alright. This currently has 465 stitches, and it's currently at 0.76%. I can't tell you what that was because I have no idea. If you heard a random scratching noise. No clue. Anyway, so yeah, so this is working pretty well for me. It is enough variation with the temperature and It's a Date that I already know that I'm not like all 4 projects need 100 stitches. That's not it. So it's working out. Cross your fingers that it's going to stick, because I really like how it's all working. And so I think going forwards, my progress update day, my FlossTube day is going to be Sunday mornings because it seems to work for the most part. So I will let you go there. Have a great rest of your week. Thank you for joining me. The clouds, I guess, are coming through because I didn't change anything, but I'm darker. So anyways, I will see everybody later. Have a great day. Sparkle and shine. Bye, everybody.